Hello, and again I am doing Megaman X, and this is going to be Secrets and Sigma's levels. And just to start off, I was going to start with Launch Octopus and his one thing. What you're going to do is you're going to take down that ship, fall down, and you're going to fight him, and then move your way to the right, and you're going to pick it up real easy. Next is Chill Penguin, and you're going to get in the suit. And you could have jumped from back there, but it's easier to jump from here. You're going to go to the second igloo, and there's going to be the heart container. Next is going to be Flame Mammoth, and I already told you these when we were at Flame Mammoth stage on the first video. And on the bottom right hand corner is the heart. You need to defeat Chill Penguin to get it, by the way, just so you know. And the E-Tank is up on the upper right-hand corner, guarded by 2 layers of blocks. You need to have the legs to be able to obtain it, by the way. Probably even the helmet. No, just the legs, but even then. Next is going to be Boomer Koanger, and you need his special ability to obtain this heart. But pretty simple. Next is going to be Armored Armadillo, and you gotta wait for the Beaver Tractor to go by to get the E-Tank, the first Beaver Tractor, by the way. Then on the second one, you need to either get in front of it or destroy it. I guess it's not a Beaver Tractor. It's probably an Armadillo Bulldozer or something. I don't know. Correct me later. But that's how you get the heart. Next is going to be Storm Eagle, and you're going to jump off the top of the conveyor belt on top of the platform that was at the start of the stage for the heart. And we all remember when I took a shot through here. I'm just redoing it, just so you can see it again. It's right there at the end of the glass. Next up is going to be Spark Mandrill. And you're going to need Boomer Koanger's ability. And you're going to have to jump, then shoot it. Because when you jump, the boomerang goes down. It won't reach if you're just standing there. Next is the heart capsule, which I showed you before, but this time I'm actually going to get it. Notice that you can't use Boomer Koanger's ability because it won't go up towards the heart. So you have to do the dash jump to be able to get on there. Ooh, I did it. No editing, by the way. Next is Sting Chameleon, and remember that false hole that was there? Well, once you be Launch Octopus, there's water in there now, which allows you to jump a great long distance. As you can see how high I could jump right there. You jump the distance, and then there's the heart capsule. Alright, and that's all of them, so we're going to continue on to the Sigma stages. This is Sigma Stage 1. And right before they meet up, and Zero says he's going to go on ahead. You agree and you follow right after him. Destroy some of the turtle launchers and you get on platforms. Be careful for the spike monsters that you saw from the very beginning and Chill Penguin. They'll knock you off and that just sucks. Once you enter the building, you need to be careful because there's just tons of enemies. You watch your way. And right here we get to see Vile again, and Zero has met up with him, telling X to stay back, that Zero's got this. Little do we all know what's going to happen. We follow behind, and here we would hear some noise, but whatever, I don't have noise. And Vile's in his suit, and just like how it was before, we can do nothing against him. We get zapped, and he laughs at us, but Zero breaks out. And well, he's gonna give us a second chance through here. Boom. Pretty epic. Alright. Now we fight Vile for reals, and his weakness is going to be the homing torpedoes. I don't know why the reasoning is behind that, but it's his weakness and it helps a lot. Because he moves a lot, you'll be able to catch him. Vile does 4 basic attacks, he does this dash, and he'll move off the screen where you're not able to hurt him. The lightning attack that you know will bind you, and if you get lightning, he'll drop some cluster bombs. Other than that, he likes to jump around a lot, so be careful. Now we meet up with Zero and we find out he's dead, but he gives us his arm, or his Mega Buster, which allows us to do all these different kinds of moves. The torpedo shoots the 4 targeting torpedoes that the octopus sent. Fire wave sends a wave. Tornado sends a tornado. Lightning brings up 2 bars that go either side. Boomerang sends out some crazy boomerangs. The shield is going to cover you but break when you hit something heavier that can take more than one hit. And the chameleon is going to make you camouflage, which means you're going to be able to blow through levels like nothing. And it's going to come in handy later when I tell you the final secret, because I didn't cover it. Mainly because I forgot and I was lazy. Man, I suck. Okay. Now we are at our first replay of a boss, and it's going to be Boomer Kowanger, and his weakness is the missiles. And you'll see quickly how much they help. They knock him back. And not only that, if you could see, while he's teleporting, you can catch him with the missile, which really hurts him and disables him a whole lot. Once you defeat him, we continue out the door, and we continue to whatever is next. Beating through the enemies, going through door 1. Okay, and this is going to be our first Sigma boss. A boss that isn't a replay, but in fact a Sigma boss that you have to beat to continue. And it is a spider. His weakness is the shotgun ice. And you need to be careful because as he starts getting hurt, he goes faster and faster and faster. And also, he'll drop spiders. You need to be careful. The shotgun blast goes over their heads, and you can't hit them necessarily unless it ricochets off the wall. Every time he comes down, just make sure you are out of the way, and you shoot him with the shotgun ice, and he'll die nice and easy, like how you saw. And he explodes, creating kind of like this euphoria for Megaman as he does his pose. Ching! Well, now, because you have the arm, you can now do this special kind of gimmick kind of thing that you're able to do. If you go to Armored Armadillo and you use his special ability and you create an orb around yourself, you can basically cheat the game and constantly have these bats respawn after you move out of the way of them and whatnot. I didn't want to necessarily show you, it's just collecting extra health to fill up your E-tanks. But we continue on to stage 2 of Sigma, and as you can see, we are moving right along. And our first boss in Sigma's second stage is Chill Penguin, and the funniest thing is his weakness is fire. And what I always found funny is that you literally light him on fire every time. Basically, you can stand right in front of him and blow the fire on him, and you can beat him. It's pretty much brain dead. So we fire him up one last time to give him his final explosion, just like how we did with Boomer Kowanger. The wall breaks, and we are able to continue. We blast through, we get in a robot, and we destroy everything that's in our path. We continue on, we get some camouflage on here, so then we boom up. I suggest going through the other way with the camouflage, so you can save your camouflage for your next boss battle, which is going to be Storm Eagle, and his weakness is Chameleon Sting. To be honest, I don't understand why, but it can reach him when he's up in the air and you're just standing. It's a nice additive. But as you can see, it basically demolishes him. And we just defeated Storm Eagle for the last time. We'll never see his face again. And boom, 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 boom. Alright, well now we continue on with our ultra fast forward. Using camouflage, we can just burst through this level. But you need to not use the camouflage as much as you possibly could during this level, because the next boss, well, the major boss of stage 2 of Sigma's stages, is actually weak to the camouflage. As you see, I'm testing out a lot of the different moves, and to be honest, none of them hurt as much as the Chameleon Sting. So I would assume that his weakness would be the Chameleon Sting. So try not to burn it out. Try to spare it as much as you can, because as you can see, I'm kind of struggling to defeat him. And look at me, I just barely figured it out, and it's so nice. Also, you want to be careful, you don't want to break the nose first, or you want the nose last. Because if you break the nose, the walls will be up, and it'll be even harder to hit the eyes, because if you fall into the spikes, I think, if I'm right, it is an instant kill. But you can test me on that, I don't know, I haven't hit the spikes, I just didn't want to test it, really, necessarily, although I probably should have for you guys. But we win, and we do our little pose, and we're off to the next Sigma stage. This is Sigma stage 3, and this is where the bulk of all of the bosses are going to be. And you'll soon see how that goes. For our first boss in Sigma stage 3, it's going to be Armored Armadillo, and you get to see his weakness and what I recommend you do when you actually fight him. As you can see, when we take our shot, he gets electrocuted, and all his armor breaks off, which is going to be quite nice. And you can hurt him in any state he is. Even when he's doing his roll, you can hurt him. Take advantage of that if you can. But we shock him for that last and final time, and he explodes because of it. And we get to continue on after defeating one of our other bosses. Alright. Now we're just blazing through, kind of messing up. But we continue on to our second boss. And it's going to be Sting Chameleon, and his weakness is the boomerangs, and you get to see how easy he is in comparison to how hard it was when I first played him to how easy it is now using the boomerangs. Well, that was a mess up. Don't jump and use the boomerangs. Just stay on the ground, it'll reach him. No worries on that. And as you can see, I'm just trading sides, really, as he gets hit and falls off. With the final hit of my boomerang, as it comes right on back to me to replenish what I had used, Sting Chameleon is exploding, and now he's gone. And we continue through stage 3 with a quick get him up. Also, a quick note, do not use up all your boomerangs. It will be very important later in this stage. Next is going to be Spark Mandrill, and his weakness is the shotgun ice, and wow, look at that, he gets frozen, and if you can time it correctly, you can keep him just standing there, as you see me do. You can keep him standing in one spot and have him completely useless in the fight. It's best to do that, just so then there is no risk of him hurting you, but basically if he does move and you hit a wall and the burst goes out, you got him anyway. Looks like we're being submerged as I get eaten by a fish. We continue on to our next boss, and if you couldn't tell, it's gonna be Launch Octopus, and we use Rolling Shield on him. And I don't feel like Rolling Shield is necessarily there to hurt him, because I can easily say that he was easier to beat with the normal Mega Buster, but the shield really cuts back on him hurting you with his missiles, because the shield will absorb all those hits and then hurt him as well. It's a kind of nice additive, but I still like the Mega Buster a bit better though. But we defeat Launch Octopus and we continue up out of the water and we blaze a trail all the way through to our next boss. I paused because I lost track of what I was doing. But as you can tell, it's going to be Flame Mammoth due to the conveyor belt, and his weakness is the tornado, as I said in the last video on part 1. Easy. Look at that. We were just standing there and I was just hammering him with the tornadoes. It was that easy. He's not a hard boss when you have the tornadoes. Also, I think if you use the boomerangs, you can cut off his nose. And he gets really mad and he goes a lot faster, so be careful when you're testing things out. Well, now we go through the final door, and this is going to take us to the boss of this stage, and his weakness is the boomerangs. You need to be careful when you jump, because the boomerangs will go down, and if it hits the bottom, you lose that boomerang. So you need to be very careful. As you can see, I use my final shot to kill him. And he just does a few moves where he bangs the bottom side to side, and then the mouth will try to eat you and whatnot. And then he'll shoot this projectile. It'll be kind of ridiculous. Other than that, he's pretty easy. And with that, Megaman does his little pose, ching, and we call it a day. I've officially ran out of time. I will fill you in on the final battle with Sigma later. Alright, bye.